So in this video, it's really going to be an in-depth video on how to become your desired self, because I think that's what a lot of people want to do, right? You want to become the version of yourself that has everything that you want. Part 1, we're going to talk about the mindset and thinking from the end and how to actually get what you desire. So when we think from the end, we think as if we already have what we desire. We act and we walk around and we talk as if we already have it, and it's an energy thing. We have to be in that desired state in order to get what we want. We have to create that feeling in order to get what we want, right? Nobody to change but self. So when we think about our senses, you know, Neville Goddard talks about deny the senses that you see in your world and conform to your imagination. Your imaginative state is the real state. That's what's going to help you manifest. Let's say you're manifesting a car. How does the car feel when you're driving that car? What kind of cologne or what kind of scent are you going to have when you're driving that car? How does it feel? How does the car sound? When your mind is living in the end, you know what it feels like. So when you already get your desire, it's not going to feel like nothing, because your mind already created it and you lived into the imaginative state, and it's going to feel normal for you to have that car, right? The number one thing I think a lot of people go wrong is when people are waiting for their desire. When you sit here and wait for it and you're looking into your 3D like, damn, I don't have it, I'm looking for it, I imagined like a million times in my head, why don't I have it? You're creating resistance because you're contradicting your own mind. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the truth, or it doesn't know a lie. If you are still waiting for your desire, go back to your imagination. Go back to that imaginative state and go back there. And remember, like, okay, my imaginative state is more real than my reality, because if I don't live in my imaginative state, then I'm not going to get what I want. You have to be the person. Nobody to change but you. Be the person that has that thing. It's really not that hard. It is a little hard at first, but when you build up your self-concept and you start manifesting little things in your life, you can manifest whatever the hell you want. So we go back to our imaginative state, right? Your imagination is key, because you gotta live in your head, like, almost. It's weird. It kind of is weird. When you start manifesting things, you have to live in your head like, okay, I'm reacting to this too much. Let me go back to here. Let me go back to my imagination. In my imaginative state, how am I acting when I have this car? How do I see myself in my imaginative state? Okay, let me become that person. When your senses aren't showing you what you want, nope, I don't care. I'm denying that. The shit that I'm seeing in my reality right now, I don't care, because in my head I have it. I could feel it. I could smell the new car. I already have this new car, right? I don't care about what I'm seeing right now. In my head, this is what I feel like, and I'm persisting in that feeling of having what I want. You shouldn't let your 3D dictate how you feel, because if your imagination is more important than what you're seeing, then you need to come back to your imagination. My imaginative state is so more important than what I'm seeing right now. I'm living in my head. I'm living as if I already have it. So what I'm seeing right now, I'm not seeing it. I don't care. I have it. I already have it. I could feel it. I could smell it. Okay, I walk outside, I'm not seeing the new car, I don't give a fuck. Who cares? Who cares what the 3D is showing you? How do we think from the end, right? How do we get to that point to where we actually believe what we desire is what we already have, instead of sitting here reacting to what we don't have, right? So another thing I wrote down was, you must drop the old story or the old version of yourself. And remember, you aren't manipulating your reality, you are changing yourself into the version that has everything that you desire. So it's like you create this foundation, right? When you create this foundation of a good self-concept, you believe in yourself, it's like you gotta drop the old story. So the old story that you play in your head all the time over and over about your life, because we all do it, you must drop that old story. That old story cannot exist when you want something new. You must create a new story. So even if you have to write it down, script, it's up to you. But we must persist in that new story. When we keep falling back to our old story, which will happen, we could waver in our affirmations, we could waver in our 3D. Like we're not perfect. But when you persist in that feeling state of the new story, that's when the new story will unfold in your reality, and you're not going to sit here thinking like, when is it going to play out? That's just like how I said earlier. You're not going to react to your 3D. You stick to that new story no matter what the hell life is showing you. If life is showing you bullshit, okay, that's not my story no more. I'm sticking to this new story, and I'm not going to let it affect my feeling state, because once you start allowing the 3D to affect you, that's when you're going to drop back into the old story. What would you feel like if you had your desire? The best thing that I did was I wrote down things in a notebook, and I persisted in the ideal self. So I didn't think about persisting for a new car, a new house, and all this stuff. I persisted in a version of myself that had all these things, which I believe is called the self-concept. That's what I did personally, because I wanted to become that person that has all these things, right? What would that person be doing on a daily basis? See, it was just more easier for me to manifest things when I became my desired self, instead of, okay, let me think about how to manifest a car. Let me think about how to manifest moving out. Let me think about how to manifest this, manifest a good partner, no. Let me become the version of myself that already has these things. That's what worked for me the best. Inner conversations also play a role in manifesting, if you didn't know either. That's like the old story that you play in your head. How are you conversating with the car that you have right now? How are you conversating with the things that are going on in your life? Are you still having those mental conversations of the old story, or are you having the mental conversations of the new story? If you were rich and successful and you had your own business, what would you be telling yourself on a daily basis? You'd be sitting here like, oh, I can't wait to go to work. I can't wait for this business. I can't wait for you know what I'm saying? You got to create this new story. Even if it seems fake, you have to impress your subconscious mind. The reason why I say like the self-concept for me was really key, because it is way more harder to manifest things if your self-concept is ass, because a lot of your self-concept has to do with you having limiting beliefs. What are the beliefs that you have about yourself that is stopping you from getting what you want? Because when you talk about a self-concept, or when I talk about a self-concept, how do you perceive yourself? Do you perceive yourself as someone that is worthy, right? Worthy of having what you desire? Are you chosen to have what you desire? Do you believe you could have what you desire? If you don't attack these limiting beliefs in your life, it's going to be way harder for you to manifest. That's why I said when you change your self-concept, it becomes easier to manifest, because when you start believing in yourself, you start to have more positive thoughts. This is the thing where people go wrong. You have to enjoy your life, with or without it, right? You have to allow yourself to have fun with or without your desire, because if you already have the desire in your head, it doesn't matter what the 3D is showing you. And another thing I could say is, don't stress yourself out when you're affirming all day. We could sit here and affirm, but it's like, if you're putting so much pressure on yourself to affirm, you're just gonna be fighting yourself. Because that's what happened with me. I sat here and affirmed so many times, and it was just like, fuck, dude, like, I just don't believe I could have it. So if I don't believe I could have it, then it's a waste of time to affirm, right? I had to affirm in being worthy. I had to go back to the basics. I had to go back to the foundation of why I didn't have it. I had to sit there and say, okay, I probably don't have it because I don't believe in myself. If I don't believe in myself and I don't believe I could have these things, then what's the point of affirming if I'm gonna have that voice in my head that's telling me I can't have it anyway? So I said, okay, let me affirm that I'm believe that I'm confident, I'm worthy, and I'm chosen. Let me knock those down and really get my beliefs in the right direction. And it takes some work. Like I'm gonna be real, it takes some work to do these types of things. Like you have to set time aside in your day, like, okay, this is my time of my day where I'm gonna work on myself and I'm gonna work on my affirmations. It's not an all day thing where you're fighting your mind all day, because you're gonna burn yourself out. Set time aside for yourself, right? And in that moment, don't even think about a thing besides what you desire, and affirm positive things for yourself. Don't affirm when your mind is fighting. Don't affirm when you're stressed out that you don't have what you have, because it's going to be like this. You're going against your own mind over and over and over again, and it's not going to feel real. The affirmations you tell yourself when you're in that negative mind state, it's not going to feel real, and you're just going to be fighting yourself, and you're going to be trying to fight your way out of that state. If you're in a negative state, just let it go. Just let those negative emotions go, and you sit there and be like, okay, I feel like shit, so what? Let it go. It's just feelings, you know what I'm saying? But we have to understand why we feel the way that we feel. That's the best thing to do. Okay, I feel like shit because I don't feel worthy. Okay, now I see why these certain patterns are playing out in my life, because this is the state that I'm in, and I've realized how I got into this state, and now it's time for me to make a change. When you make that change, it has to be a work in progress. You have to put work in with yourself into reprogramming your subconscious mind. You have to believe that you can change yourself to change your reality. You're gonna have to come back into who you were and realize that I'm the operant power, pretty much. Like I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can change my mindset to get what I want. What I'm seeing right now doesn't matter, because this is just my reality is from my past beliefs. Once I build up these new beliefs, oh yeah, it's gonna conform and I'm gonna get what I want. I want y'all to think about this. When we allow the 3D to affect us in a negative way, do you think we're living in the end? When you're living in the end, do you think you have to tell people how to treat you? You don't. Because when you live in the end, you see someone treat you like shit, whatever, I'm not going to focus on you, I'm going to focus on myself. Because I know that I'm worthy, and I know that I can get what I want. Just like how I got that from Dylan James. I'm going to give credit to him whenever I use anything that I've learned from him, just like that. If you know you're worthy, you're not going to give a fuck how people treat you. It's just that simple. Another part that I want to talk about is happiness, right? And I learned it in this book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. Happiness is your right? You must desire to be happy. If you don't desire to be happy, then you're not gonna get what you want, because in the end state you're gonna be happy, right? You have the right to be happy. Now it's like, how do I become happy? Well, first you must, in order to get something, right, it's a desire, and then you have to inform these beliefs within your own mind in order to become happy. It's just like everything in your life. Create the feeling of happiness within and you will be happy, right? And however you want to do it is how you're gonna do it. But when you become happy, what I've noticed within myself and my self-concept, I generate way more positive beliefs. So I want to talk about this morning technique. I wrote it down in my notes. It's called the morning technique. I call it that, and I think it's very great for me that I do this. I have this technique. It's called the morning technique, and the reason why I call it the morning technique is because this is what you're going to do in the morning. It's a technique that's going to help you. It's going to help you start your days, and it's going to help you lay down the foundation. When you wake up, your mornings are very important. How are you spending your morning? What are you eating? How are you operating in the morning? Your morning is where you set the tone for the day. It's like the morning is like a warm-up to your day, right? It's like if you played sports, you go and you warm up before the game. I warm up before the big day, which is today. I look forward to waking up in the morning because I start my morning technique. I lay down the foundations. I listen to subliminal affirmations before I go to sleep to help me get ready for the next day. So when I wake up in the morning and use this morning technique, this is the biggest moment of my life right now. In that moment, it's like, okay, this is how I'm going to start my day. I'm going to focus on this. I'm going to focus on that. And boom, I lay down the foundation for my day. If I got to write down things that I'm going to do today, I'm going to do it. I'll build a routine for myself. Okay, this morning, I wake up. I'm feeling chosen. I'm feeling chosen. I'm feeling worthy, and I'm feeling happy. And I lay down those beliefs. Like I set a tone for my day. This is what I'm gonna do in the morning. That's gonna help me go throughout my day. I'm gonna fill my day up with shit to do. I'm gonna fill my day up with positive things that are gonna help me enjoy myself and watch life unfold into what I want. It's gonna conform to what I believe because it has no choice. The morning is your foundation. However you guys want to spend your morning, spend it in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today on becoming your desired self. It's kind of a long video, so what? But this is what's going to help you become your desired self. And I hope this video helped you. You know, like I put in a lot of work on this video, and I love to do this type of stuff. So I love y'all, and I'm out. Peace. I hope you become your desired self. You could do this. You can do this. You all got this shit, man. And I love y'all, and I'm out. Peace.